I'm serious. Come on up. I want to show you guys some stuff. This is fantastic.
Look at all the drums. Yeah. Get a drum song.
All right. Now, I meant to have you guys grab these, but I forgot.
All right, Stacy, Justin, Brandon. Woo!
So, these are some exercises. I'm going to tell you the story where these came from. Danielle knows them. Help me pass them over. Anyway, so these exercises are for what we call ghost notes. The ghost notes are honestly what makes the feel of the song. There are a lot of different components and grooves that happen and that don't happen. And if any of you guys want to see this, if you can read music, by all means. If you can read music in the dark, even better. But anyway, so these exercises came to me from a good friend of mine, a teacher named Mark Schulman. Mark was the drummer, you said, no? Mark was the drummer in Foreigner, Simple Minds, Pink, Cher, Billy Idol, Stevie Nicks, played with tons of people. And I met him when I went to the LA Music Academy. And Mark recommended me for this gig. I went to tour in Europe. And it was a 3-week tour. It was my big break. I finally got to travel the world, play music. And it was the longest 3 weeks of my life. Band leader, not a very nice guy. And rode the band into the ground the whole time and all this kind of stuff. And I came back and I was really beat up. My confidence was really down. And I said, Mark, I want a lesson. And I want to know everything that is wrong with my playing. And he said, okay. And so he said, play. And so I played, and he stopped me after about a minute and a half. And he said, okay, first off, you play great, so let's not worry about what that guy said. However, there's a couple of things that you can clean up in your playing that'll make the difference between you getting a gig and not getting a gig. And what he was talking about was the phrasing of the notes. Space in between the notes. He was talking a lot about ghost notes. My left hand just kind of had this automatic pilot thing that it did, and I wasn't really paying attention to it. And it would make everything feel a certain way. And my bass drum notes weren't entirely even. They felt okay, but they didn't feel spot on. And so Mark gave me these exercises, and he said, work on these. Fast, slow, loud, soft. Soft isn't really my forte. Never been in any danger of getting a jazz gig. But anyway. So Mark gives me these exercises, and they're designed to even out your playing. And so you all have them now. You're welcome. And what we do with these exercises is this. You set up your metronome, and you get it on 16 notes, right? So we're going to start it at 60, which is pretty slow. Because at the end of the day, what we're after, if we want to make stuff feel good, is control. We've got to be able to control our playing. If you want to play fast, you can't do it without control. If you want to play slow, you can't do it without control. So these exercises are designed to give you control. So here we go. So there's my 16-note subdivision, right? Okay. So I'm going to plug into this. And it'll go away. Y'all won't hear it, but just remember what I'm playing to. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, example number 1, I'm going to lock my hands into that subdivision, right? The 16th notes. Okay, here it goes. All the notes in parentheses are the ghost notes. The 2 and the 4 on the backbeat, those are your strong notes. Here we go. When that feels good, then I add the bass drum. When I can make this exercise groove, then I've gotten the point now. So then I add the bass drum. And this is where everything comes in. And what we worked out was we want a no flam policy. All the notes have to be completely lined up together. I don't want anything flammable. I'm not saying that it's not going to happen. I'm just saying I don't want it. Okay? All right. So here we go. Check this out. Make sure my left hand and my right foot are phrasing up. Is to take a pad, or you can even play on your leg, but I'll get the hi-hat noise out of it, right? And then I can just hear just the kick and the snare. Speed it up a little bit, starts to sound a little bit more musical, a little less exercisical, right? Here we go. I want it all to be even. And then when I take my left hand out of the picture, I've got... and everything's even. So the left hand is actually kind of a fail-safe to make sure that your bass drum notes are even and in the pocket. Make sense? Cool. All right, so the next one is more syncopated, and there's a lot more notes in it. To be honest with you, it was a bigger challenge. So here we go. Right? That's what I'm after. Even space. I want to honor all the space. You know, in the songs we're going to play, you know, I'm going to play some chops, I'm going to do that stuff. But the majority of the stuff I'm doing is just keeping a groove, honoring the space of the song, letting that happen. So I want to honor that. Okay, so the next one was specifically designed to get this figure together. Because I would brush it a little bit. Sometimes it'd be, sometimes it might be, you know, less than even. And so Mark said, hey man, you know that Michael McDonald tune Jeff Ricardo played on it? I keep forgetting. I keep forgetting. Well, no, I've been. The older people will remember that. So anyway. So Mark said, you know that? He goes, that's a great drum pattern for this group. So let's try that. And so, again, at every tempo, the actual tempo of this is right here. That's how it sits in the song. But for me to get it there, that's fast. I had to start really slow. So again, I go back to like, let's call it 70 beats per minute. Hear how this thing sounds at like a turtle's pace, okay? sounds like a 78. All right, started to get it. Okay, here's 91. Tempo 96. Play it even, play it smooth, make the song feel good. Everybody has a good time playing over, right? Cool.